Hello, 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 hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome, 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 welcome. Hope everyone's had fantastic Tuesday. It's Tuesday vibes all over the place. And for a change, Arsenal actually are doing something in the transfer window, which in theory sounds very, very nice. I'm not gonna lie, that was very, very nice because when I saw that Arsenal have signed Zubimendi, I got quite excited. I'm not gonna lie, I got excited. I was looking at this thing and because I saw only the article that Arsenal have agreed the deal for Zubimendi because we weren't here in summer. He rejected Bayern Munich. He rejected, of course, he rejected Liverpool and teams like that. And obviously Arsenal were interested. He rejected us and now Arsenal have signed him. But obviously, as soon as I read more into the article, into the news and everything, it turns out it's for summer. As always, it is for summer. So we're gonna deep dive into that. We're gonna look at some other transfer news. We have linked with some strikers. There's some players potentially going out. Of course, tomorrow is North London Derby, Arsenal versus Spurs, a game that currently, based on our current form and everything, despite what Spurs are, how they are, and everything that they struggled against electricians, postmen, and some random people who drive combines, basically in FA Cup. Still feels like they are better a bit than us currently, on form at least. That's what it feels like, but it is what it is. We're gonna talk about that. That game kind of scares me a little bit, so we're gonna get into that. And of course, if you're new around here, smash that like, smash that thumbs up, subscribe if you're new around here, leave your comments, thoughts down in the live chat, and if you're watching this as a playback, of course, leave your thoughts down below in the comments. I answer to pretty much every single comment. Now, obviously, currently, as I'm live, there are some midweek Premier League games happening on Tuesday before Arsenal play tomorrow on other teams. Obviously, Liverpool are playing against Nottingham Forest, so that will be an interesting one. Brentford are playing City, and more and more and more. So we're gonna keep one eye on those. But obviously, today we are here as always to talk about Arsenal in general, and we're gonna kick things off obviously with the news in hand. We're gonna talk about Martin Zubimendi. He has signed for Arsenal. Zubimendi has signed for Arsenal, which was a bit of a shock, I'm not gonna lie. Came out of nowhere. I was very excited. Arsenal have agreed personal terms according to reports and everything, so it's very good for Arsenal in that regard. But of course, I was hoping this deal was for now, not in basically summer. So that is the case in that regard. But Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta apparently was a very crucial factor for Arsenal to advance on Martin Zubimendi deal. Arsenal manager part of the process for the club to get the green light for Zubi. Of course, Arteta was part of the green light because he is one of the main guys calling the shots, as we all know. Same as happened with Declan Rice 2 years ago. Zubimendi in advanced talks with Arsenal for July 2025. That was what Fabrizio Romano said, and obviously it was reported all over the place, and Sam Mogbel at the end of the day put this out. Arsenal will land long-term target Martin Zubimendi at the end of the season. It's not a January signing, it's a signing for the end of the season. Mail Sport can reveal that talks over a summer move are now in advanced stage, with sources indicating the deal is virtually completed. Obviously, since it's only virtually completed, it's not fully completed. Personal terms have been agreed upon, which obviously is nice for Arsenal. Paying the release clauses also for Arsenal should not be a massive problem in that regard. However, there is a big but. We all know that Jorginho is out of contract at the end of the season. We all know that Partey is out of the contract at the end of the season. Of course, there are also some not that good rumors surrounding Partey potentially. There are some rumors going around London and everything, and one of the speculations that it's Partey. I'm not going to get into that and everything, but that also might be the case why Arsenal were so advanced into talks for Martin Zubimendi. But the main of the thing is, it's just a smokescreen at the end of the day. It is just a smokescreen because let's be real. Let's genuinely be real. Arsenal are in a very rough spot currently, game-wise, gameplay-wise, performance-wise, and everything. Fan base is in a bit of a turmoil. Arteta outs are increasing their voice and they're actually starting to argue, and slowly, if this continues, especially tomorrow, potentially even fighting Arteta ins. It's all over the place, and Arsenal somehow needed to basically control the situation. That's why I kind of feel like Sam Ogbell today reported this. It feels like Arsenal deliberately leaked the story because it has to be true, first of all. And there were no news from Fabrizio Romano. There were new news from David Ornstein until Sam Ogbell put this out. Also, before all of them, Team News and Tickets, the guy who said that we will sign our mystery German in the summer, if you recall, put out a tweet that there will be some major signing news very, very soon. Fast forward 10 minutes, Sam Ogbell is reporting that Arsenal will sign Zubimendi, long-term target and a long-term deal at the end of summer. Basically, it's Arsenal Arsenal board and Arsenal's ownership trying to control the situation. They're trying to somehow basically take our minds off the fact that we are playing awfully on the pitch and the fan base is in a turmoil. And I don't want to imagine what's going to happen tomorrow if we lose to Spurs, of course. We're going to get into that in a bit. But ultimately, it's very weird. It genuinely is very weird because the main thing is, how does this work for Arsenal next summer? Because the way I see Zubimendi, he's a 6. Everyone's screaming for Rice to play as a 6. And unless we play like 4-2-1-3, 4-2-3-1 with double pivot and Rice can kind of push up a bit, be a bit more free roaming in that regard, again, Rice stays in an 8 role. Rice generally stays in an 8 role. And we all have seen that Rice is most productive as a 6 or as a center back even, or to some extent also a right back. It feels like that it's all over the place at the moment, this situation, because again, for me personally, it raises more questions than answers in that regard. What's gonna happen? What genuinely is going to happen with Rice? Because with Zubimendi coming in, he's a 6, so Rice looks like he's gonna play in the 8. Like generally, he's gonna play in the 8 again. And that is something not maybe every Arsenal fan wants to see. Arsenal fans want to see, just like when Zinchenko came in and we knew that he's not good at left back, we wanted to see him in the midfield, and we never saw that. Will we see Rice in a 6 consistently? I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea. The big thing is though, if we play double pivot with 2 6s, Rice and Zubimendi together actually could be a very good dynamic, because one is more agile, more pass oriented, one is a bit of a workhorse. I'm talking about Rice here, so they can play off each other, no DD, pause, and be very, very productive. Also, if you want to play different teams with different tactics, one is when you have more possession, so you need more of a distributor. One's a more of a pressure situation when you need someone who is press resistant, as in Declan Rice. You can kind of mix and match in that regard, which also would not be the worst. But ultimately, with Partey leaving, it kind of has all the indications that Zubimendi is going to become the main 6. So that again means that Rice is going to be the main number 8. Which is, again, not the ideal scenario, but if we can adjust the tactics, maybe it could work. Big up Nathan, big up my guy, big up. The big issue with this deal for me personally is this. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I have kind of lost the deal. Where is it? I just looked at it. Where was it? Here we go. This is it. This is the one. Exactly. Same for me. 4-2-3-1. Arteta played that 4-2-3-1 as well when he just came in the second season. He was 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, kind of switching in between, couldn't decide. In the double pivot, as I said, Rice and Zubimendi together actually can bounce off each other. Again, pause. Genuinely pause. Big pause in that regard. Because they are kind of polar opposites in the style, and they can kind of be the perfect balance in that regard, because we all know that our midfield is very unbalanced. Now, the big issue with this is, for me in Premier League, if you are a player, right? Because Zubimendi is not the biggest guy, let's be real. And Arteta signs giants, what it feels like only. You either are big, tall, and strong, like the most players Arteta signs, or you are small and agile workhorse. Basically, either you are small, with agility, trickery, mind like Santi Cazorla, or you are a workhorse, a bit strong, and just run around like Kante does that, or Caicedo, one of the other. And the issue is, Zubimendi is kind of in between the both. He's somewhere in between the both, And for me, that is the biggest worry. Will he be able to adjust to Premier League? That for me is one of the biggest issues with Zubimendi currently. Obviously. So time only will tell. Double pivot would stop this inverted fullback gimmick. Exactly. And that would be fantastic. And to some extent, if we actually did the double pivot, it would make more sense than ever to keep Kieran Tierney. We actually would have a proper left back. Ironically enough. Well, that won't happen obviously, but hey, it is what it is. But what in this news struck me the most is this. Zubimendi is understood to have £51 million release clauses, which Arsenal will formally trigger. Arsenal would like Zubimendi to join right now, immediately, but Real Sociedad have insisted that the player stays until the end of the season, which he will do and join most likely in the summer. The thing is, the key phrase in this for me specifically, Zubimendi to join immediately. As we all know, release clauses are paid up front, straight up, no questions asked, players yours. And if Arsenal are willing for Zubimendi to join right here, right now, at this stage in January, would wanted that means that these 51 million, that is the minimum amount that Arsenal currently have in their bank account to spend. Like right now in January, which again raises the big question. We are exactly 2 goddamn weeks into January transfer window and we have signed nobody. No striker, no forward, no midfielders, no nothing. We haven't signed anyone. And now that raises the question, what's the holdup? If you were so kind of willing to pay 51 million release clauses for a player to join immediately, and you have agreed that he can stay until the end of the season and join then and we're gonna pay then, will you spend this at least, that's the minimum amount, 51 million right now, on a striker, on a forward or someone like that? Or will you again drag this out? We will be linked FC as always, and the end part of the transfer window, we will panic and sign, for example, Rashford on loan or someone like that. What will we do? That for me now is the big question. That for me is the big question. Wanted to Juve was such good news, and this kind of is a very nice segue. Big up Nathan for this, because today quite a bit of news pick up the pace that Arsenal are ready to take further concrete steps towards signing Dusan Vlahovic. Daily Vlahovic is back again, as in 2002, when from Fiorentina he went to Juventus, rejected Arsenal, left us on red on WhatsApp messages and everything, 2 blue ticks, no answer, aired us. Which kind of could mean that if Mwani is going to Juventus, potentially it could mean that we could sign Dusan Vlahovic, because these news are quite heavy today and yesterday as well. Arsenal have been allegedly tracking this deal for months, right? Now the big question rises, if you've been tracking this deal for months, talking for months, how comes you haven't signed him yet? If you want him, like realistically speaking, if you actually really want him, why have you not signed him yet? That for me again is the big thing. That is the big thing. Obviously there were reports that Arsenal offered a loan deal in December and it got rejected. And there are some more rumors that Arsenal will go again by the end of this week. They're gonna sit down with Juventus and explore either a loan option or something like that, because some more reports specifically out of Italy are stating that that Juventus want a loan with obligation to buy, and that I think could be a big issue for Arsenal. Loan with obligation to buy. A new week, as it states here, a new meeting is expected by the weekend to explore the negotiation margins for a move already in January. The big thing is, as I said, Juventus would preferably want a loan with obligation to buy. And now that is the big question, whether it's gonna happen or not. That for me is the big question that needs to be asked. Will it happen or not? I have no idea, but only time will, of course, tell. But we will have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see. Vlahovic loan with option, must try before we buy. Exactly. That is the case. We didn't do with option to buy, but that's what we did with Odegaard. We loaned him in from Real Madrid, sorry, and he was somewhat decent, and that's how we signed him. That is the big thing. Big up Isaac, 1-0 Forest. Damn, Forest are banging. That is bad for Arsenal. Very bad for Arsenal. Because if Forest win, they overtake Arsenal. Because we are on the same points. On top of that, that adds pressure to Arsenal to win tomorrow against Spurs. And the way we are playing right now, if we lose that game, oh bloody hell how that will send Arsenal's fan base in overdrive. Because this, if Liverpool lose, insane chance for Arsenal to close the gap. Genuinely. Chelsea 1-0 up, point behind Arsenal. Northland Dargan is going to be interesting. Exactly. Big up Irvin. Big up Irvin, my guy. Big up Irvin, especially if Forest can hold on and win against Liverpool. That will be the triple the pressure on Arsenal. Sad part is, we all know how Arsenal do under the pressure, unfortunately. Havertz is not the main guy, striker. He can't carry like Lev. Exactly. He just cannot. Exactly. And here is the Havertz news, by the way. According to Sam Mogbel, apparently Kai Havertz's move to Arsenal was seen as a high-risk transfer, with there being apprehension behind the scenes when Mikel Arteta insisted on the signing, which means he is Mikel Arteta's signing. 65 million down the drain. Kai Havertz, auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye. Wish he wasn't at the club anymore. Members of the club were unsure as to where the German international would fit in. Arteta came out in interviews and said he sees him as a midfielder. When that, he tried to shoehorn him in there for half a season. When it didn't work, he basically did what most people who are desperate, what they do. They threw shit at the wall and see what sticks. And he put him up at number 9. He went on a purple patch. He did some goals and everything. He hit some good goal scoring form, which to some extent was good. Another option, it was very bad, because that kind of showed Arteta that technically we don't need to sign a striker in summer, because he thought he can replicate that. That also gave the Tug Gunners the chest and the enthusiasm that Kai Havertz is gonna bag 20 goals this season. They genuinely said that. It's on videos, it's on streams, it's on interviews, it's everywhere. Hello? What are you doing here? 20 goals for Havertz. Don't make me laugh. And I think that signing is one of the reasons why Edu quit as well. Why Edu resigned. Now, as Nathan is saying, Jesus has an ACL. Very big yikes. I'm saying that we will offer him a new contract. Maybe we will do what we did with El Neni. Maybe we will offer him a new contract, but much, much less, because he will be injured, so we can actually sell him off. Because he had, on one knee, he had MCL, on the other knee, he had ACL. He pretty much is finished as a player. Let's be honest ourselves. He's not going to play for Arsenal. And to have any chance to recuperate some money back, to try and sell him, we need to put him on much lower wages. Then we actually can talk to Palmeiras, to whoever, and try and sell him. And that actually could work, potentially. That actually could work. But yeah, he's going to have a surgery and see how that goes. But it's definite that he's gonna be out for the rest of the season. Which actually raises the big question as well. And a question for you all who are watching, and please let me know in the live chat. If Jesus didn't get injured, would we be so heavily linked with Vlahovic or someone else as a striker right now? Would we be linked to anyone in forward department, as we are, for example, with Vlahovic or someone else? Because that for me is a big question. Big question. What's the Jorginho news? To be honest, I've seen him linked with Cruzeiro, but nothing. I haven't seen anything else. I'm not gonna lie. 1 minute Edu was talking about projects. Next minute he was gone. Weird. That's the thing. That is the thing. And you cannot tell me that a guy who is so highly speaking about Arteta, the club, and everything, all of a sudden flips a switch and says, well, you are a lot losers, I want to quit. It doesn't happen like that. There definitely was some turmoil in the club between Arteta, Edu, and everyone else. Because I think it was about 3-4 days ago, we talked about this on the stream, that there were some rumors coming out that the reason why Edu quit was because Arteta got the new 15 million year contract and basically increased role. And that meant that he would be also basically involved in every decision made at the club. Not just the 4 players, but in every decision. That means signings, sellings, that means new scouting players, that means every single department you can imagine, Arteta would be present. And that kind of felt for Edu that that's overstepping the boundaries. That's taking away from what he is actually should be doing at Arsenal. It's taking away a big part of him. And he decided, well, since there's a chance at going to Marianakis, to manage 3 clubs, to become a CEO, get triple the salary and everything, he said, well, peace out. I'm done. Goodbye. And to be honest, if that is the case, I applaud Edu. Despite the fact that we got frustrated with him, also thanks to him for some great signings, I'm not gonna lie, he made some good signings, right? He did the right thing. He actually had some balls to say, well, I'm done. I don't gonna take this shit no more. And to some extent, I wish some of our players, the big players specifically, stood up to him, to Arteta, like Edu did to the club. Genuinely wish. Not maybe handing in transfer request, but when Arteta maybe does something he wants them to do, they just stand up and say no. Genuinely no. Challenge him. Because Pep Guardiola said he doesn't want people around him who only agree with him. Because if everyone around you agrees with you, that means you cannot grow. Because the way you grow is with different opinions, discussions, fights and everything. That's the way you grow, learning from experience. And if everyone says just yes to you, you cannot grow. You basically are the main man. And that's what Arteta has in the club. And I think Edu was not going to stand for it. And I wish some of our players did that as well. Especially since I was scrolling to TikTok today, which is a weird app, I'm not going to lie. But there were some numerous TikToks coming out. I know it could be AI generated, but at the same time, the voice sounded like the woman who is talking on Sky Sports, reporting that after the game there was some turmoil between Saliba and Odegaard. They got into a big argument. Saliba wasn't happy with the defensive efforts from the players. Saliba wasn't happy how people weren't tracking back. Odegaard stood up to him and they had a bit of a word exchange, to say the least. Is Arteta losing the dressing room? Who knows, obviously. The club showed today they are with Arteta, now they need to spend the money. Exactly. That is the case because no matter how you look at it, there was an article on this that stated that Mikel Arteta was a massive driving force in signing Zubimendi. And since Zubimendi is coming in summer, it means that Arteta is staying here after the summer. As big of a shame and pain that is to me, unless something drastically changes, Arteta is staying. Now, obviously it could change if Arteta loses to Villa, loses to Spurs. Fans will generally go in turmoil. They will go overboard, let's be real. And if we fall out of top 4, it could get even worse, let's be real. And if we fall out of top 4, I'm not sure Arteta stays till next summer. He actually might be gone. Let's be real. Because the one thing that Kroenkes won't stand for is losing money. And Champions League is the money they want. And if we are not in Champions League, we lose quite a bit of money. Quite a bit of money, because the money you get in Champions League compared to Europa League is like night and day pretty much. That is the big thing. That is the big thing. The club won't sack him. That is the big case. But for me, if we fall out of top 4, for example, at the end of the season, at best, I think they will give him the window and the start of the season. If nothing improves massively and doesn't change, he actually might get sacked. I'm not gonna lie, that could be the case. Because I don't think they're gonna stand for it. Especially if we finish the season, let's just say 5th even. Yeah, that is the big issue though. This is the thing I say about Arsenal every single time when they do something stupid or there's an opportunity they don't take advantage of. If it makes sense, Arsenal won't do it. That is a big thing. You got me there. I'm not gonna lie, you got me there. In other news, Josh Kroenke looks like he needs to mend the situation. What is happening? He will be in the attendance as Arsenal take on Spurs tomorrow. So Josh will be in the stands. The big question is, why wasn't he in the stands in November when when Odegaard just was coming back, and after, or in December when we needed to talk about transfers. Maybe Josh is gonna be here to sign the checkbook, to sign someone maybe, who knows. But Josh is actually gonna be in the stands. Whether it's gonna be to put pressure on Arteta or not, depends to be seen, obviously. It remains to be seen. But it's very interesting that all of a sudden, club is falling down. Well, you get what I mean, hypothetically and metaphorically and all that crap. Fans are starting to turn against Arteta. Performances are not up to par. We have loads of injuries and the squad is nowhere good enough at the moment. And all of a sudden, Josh turns up. Until then, when it was fine and dandy and there wasn't a big movement for Arteta out, nobody was screaming for Arteta out too much, even though there were people, but not as loud as they are now comparatively to that time, he was happy in USA. He was sitting watching his Denver Nuggets, his Colorado Rapids or Colorado Avalanche and just, well, scratching his balls at the end of the day, let's be real. But all of a sudden, when shit hits the fan, oh no, I gotta show up. He has to. Because as much as I, comparatively to Stan, I generally would believe that Josh actually cares about Arsenal. It sounds weird, I'm not gonna lie, but comparatively to Stan, Josh actually cares about Arsenal to some extent. To some extent. Let's not over-exaggerate it, to some extent. The question is, how much he cares. How much he cares. Does he care enough to make some uncomfortable decisions? Let's just put it that way. That is the big case. But Josh is going to be in the stands tomorrow. See how that works out. Will Arsenal show up? Or will we just flounder? Because if we tomorrow concede, we lose or something like that, it genuinely could go nuts in the fan base if we lose to Spurs. To say the least. Oh, some good news. Some good news. Borussia Dortmund are exploring a deal to sign Alexander Zinchenko. Talks have already taken place as the left back, well, is he a left back, is desperate to leave North London. I wonder, why is he desperate to leave London? Why? Playtime? Or what? The deal is being discussed is an initial loan with obligation to buy for 20 million euros. We bought him for 35 million euros. So we're gonna take a 15 million loss, not including the wages. But overall, please take him, Borussia. I beg of you, take him, Dortmund. I beg of you. He'll have to come out and say he hates Cronkies or something before. Could be the case. Genuinely could be the case. As long as Arteta gets Champions League, he's going nowhere. Trophies are secondary. Yeah, that is the sad reality of this situation. No matter what happens, if Arteta manages to somehow stink out the top four, he is not going. Unfortunately. So, obviously, there's still 18 games to go, so anything can happen. Let's just be real. But, can they take KVR too? To be honest, they have some luck with some Polish players, if you recall Borussia Dortmund. Remember that right side of Borussia Dortmund? Piszczek, Blaszczykowski, and Lewandowski, that left side into the striker. That Polish right side was just incredible to watch back in the day. Piszczek to Blaszczykowski. Blaszczykowski just blitzes past about 3 players and then crosses it to Lewandowski, and Lewandowski makes it 1-0, 2-1, whatever. That was just fantastic to watch at the time. That Borussia Dortmund team those days was phenomenal. Yeah, Quara News is very sad. He's joining PSG. What a shame. Yeah, but Arsenal take every opportunity of every market, as Arteta says. They're looking for unique opportunities. Kvaratskhelia was a unique opportunity, and they basically pissed it down the wind. Let's be real about that. In other news, despite the links with Vlahovic, Arsenal retain a strong interest in Benjamin Šeško. We'll see how that goes. Šeško is sold, but unclear if Šeško would be persuaded to move mid-season, and that's why I think Arsenal are exploring a deal for Dusan Vlahovic in January, with option or obligation to buy. What the fuck is happening with X today? Genuinely, I'm just so confused. But yeah, it looks like Arsenal are linked with quite a few attackers. In some other news, according to Relevo, I know it's a bit of a random one, But Real Madrid are looking at a possible managerial options to replace Carlo Ancelotti after being humiliated by Barcelona for the second time this season. If you recall, Copa del Rey, Copa de España, however you want to call it, Super Copa de España and everything, Barcelona played Real Madrid on 2 occasions, and both times Barcelona have absolutely smashed Real Madrid with no excuses. Obviously, there was some news coming out that Papa Perez and Real Madrid still believe in Ancelotti, but given their current form, the fact that they are struggling on somewhat high level, I'm not gonna lie, there are some talks obviously circulating that Real Madrid might be looking at a new coach. The big question is, if he gets sacked, if Ancelotti leaves Real Madrid, would Josh Kroenkes in general, have the balls to sack Mikel Arteta and get him in instantly on the spot? Genuinely, instantly on the spot. That for me is the big question. Would they have the balls to do it? That for me is the big question. Because I would love to see what Carlo Ancelotti can do with this squad. That for me would be the big question. I would love to see it as well. Would be insane if Simeone wins La Liga. Simone. Who is Simone? Simeone. To be honest, they are on a 14-game unbeaten streak. 14 games, 14 wins if I'm not mistaken. No draws, nor nothing. They are actually on an insane run, to say the least. They are blitzing so far. Some random news today that Arsenal have allegedly joined Inter and Napoli in the race to sign Lorenzo Pellegrini, who has entered into his final 18 months of his Roma contract. Now, I don't want to gas you if you are a fan of him. He's not coming to Arsenal. Let's be real. Italian players don't leave that often Serie A for the rest of the Europe. Let's be real. And I spoke today also to a Roma fan. He said that Pellegrini is a bit slow in pace, in speed. Don't get it twisted. Very good on the ball with decent passing, good shot on him. But he is not coming to Arsenal. He confirmed it pretty much. It's mostly game time and everything, internal solutions, as Arteta loves to say. But yeah, he pretty much said that he's not joining. I think he is going to move to Napoli or Inter. I don't see him coming to Arsenal one single bit. But putting Arsenal in this article instantly get you clicks. If you talk about article-wise, I'm not gonna lie. Now, just putting this out there. Yeah, he will be 29 in June as well. That's not the youngest, let's just put it that way. Arsenal squad depth this season. Look at this. Arsenal squad depth this season. The little plus and the number by their names is the years of contract they have left at Arsenal. At the start of the season, so you can -1 after this season, of course. Havertz, Jesus up top. And that is the strike force we are going for the league. Embarrassing alone. Saka's backup is Raheem Sterling. Could it be even more pathetic? Odegaard has no backup. That's even more embarrassing. Martinelli, Trossard on the left. If they were good, decent form and everything wouldn't be an issue, but they are stinking out the gaff every single game. Midfield, number 6, 8 technically. Rice and Merino. Rice has had a massive dip in form. Merino, well, is useless. Let's be real so far. Number 6s, Partey and Jorginho. One who plays half the time right back, other one who is like 90 years old, to be honest. Both of them are 90 years old. And as slow as turtles. So that is working well. Right backs, Timber and White. That's decent. I'm not gonna lie, that is decent. Saliba has no backup whatsoever. Shambles, to say the least. Magalhaes, Gabriel. Backup is Kivior. Not a great look. Look at the left back position. Arsenal having backups. Calafiori, Zinchenko, Tierney, Tomiyasu, and there is also missing, of course, Miles Lewis Skelly. And obviously, Vanier is missing as well. Like, look at the left back spot, about 5 players there. How mad is that? And half of them are not even left backs. Tomiyasu is technically a right back / center back. Zinchenko is a midfielder. Calafiori is a left-sided center back. Miles Lewis Skelly should be there. He's a midfielder. So Tierney is the only left back if you quote unquote. And to be honest, he's still the best left back in the team. And of course, Raya's backup is Norberto Neto. Look how embarrassing is this team and these backups. We are trying to challenge for the league title with Havertz and Jesus up top. Havertz still has 3 years after the season. Jesus has 2 after the season. How mad and wild is that? This is the team we are trying to challenge for the league. If we lose this trophy, it will be very painful because the trophy is hanging. We need 3 players to fight for this trophy. We struggle too much to put the ball into the net. Oh, sorry. Here we go. Chair was a bit too high. Yeah. I don't know who's gonna put the ball into the net, to be honest. Without Saka and Ranieri, we cannot score. Pretty much, unless Gabriel just flies in from a corner. And to be honest, corner strategy Arsenal have is nothing brilliant. It's been done for ages in world football. Let's be real. We just have about 6 tall players, over 6 foot tall. We whip in a good cross and everyone just runs at the ball and hopes they can head the ball in. That's about it. Genuinely, that's about it. Nothing new, nothing special in that regard. Nothing unique they have discovered there. For some extent, it just worked. No. I can't do watch-alongs, unfortunately. I cannot do watch-alongs, unfortunately. And there will be no stream tomorrow as well, sadly. I would love to stream, but I will stream on Thursday, of course. Martinelli needs to get his head out of his ass for just this one game. It's not enough. He needs to get the head out of his ass in general. He needs to get it out for the rest of the season if he wants to have any chance to staying at this club to some extent as well. Martinelli. So much promise and he has been genuinely god-awful since then. Since that one season, he has disappeared from the face of the earth for Arsenal in that regard. But of course, tomorrow. Oh yeah, this one as well. There was an interview today on AFTV with the big guy, Sol Bloody Campbell. The guy who said, screw you Spurs, and just walked across the road and joined Arsenal to win trophies. That's what he said. He wanted to win, and he wanted to win now because the career of a football player is very short. He wanted to cement his legacy. He was talking about how joining from Spurs to Arsenal and everything, how that was going. He was talking about Arsenal's current team. And this is one of the biggest things. The world is Saliba's oyster. How long can we keep him? Question for everyone. How long do you think can we keep Saliba at Arsenal if we keep stinking out a place like we do these days and if we don't win any trophy whatsoever any season? How long do you think he's gonna say, well, if Real Madrid come, I'm gonna go. Well, I'm gonna hand in transfer request. Oh, if someone big comes that guarantees me trophies, I'm gonna go there. Why not? Because as he said, as Sol Campbell said, the world is Saliba's oyster. Any big club that comes in with a big offer, Saliba, more chances than not, is gonna say yes. Let's be real. Because he's actually that good. He is actually that good. Yeah, Sol Campbell, proper gunner. A guy who should have a mural outside the Emirates. Not Josh Kroenke, not Havertz with the goddamn dog, or El Neni, or Jover, the set piece coach, or anyone like that. There should be legends on that mural in the tunnel on the walls. There should have Keown, Winterburn. There should have, of course, Adams, Sol Campbell, Henry, Bergkamp, Vieira, players like that. Not Kai Havertz and the dog. Not our set piece coach. How comes everyone knows who is Arsenal's set piece coach? I kid you not. I have no idea who is any other team's set piece coach. I have no idea who is City's set piece coach, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Juventus, Bayern Munich, PSG. You name the club, I have no idea besides Arsenal. And the worst part is, There's a big part of every club's fan base that doesn't even know their own set piece coach's name, yet they know our set piece coach's name because the PR for Arsenal and Jover in general has been shoved down every single person's throat that follows Premier League so much that it's pretty much impossible not to know his name and who he is. That's how bad it is. That's genuinely how bad it is. Come on. Jover, set piece coach, has a mural outside the Emirates. Dude, these new fans don't know about Adams. Exactly, they say, Adams, who? Adams family. Oh yeah, I like the show Wednesday. Woo, I dance with my hands, and all that crap. Wish he had a captain like Adams. Dude, if we had captain like Adams, during the halftime talk, he would slap up every single player for the performances we put out, and on top of that, he would slap up Mikel Arteta himself for being such a dumbass. Adams would take no shit from anyone. And that is the biggest thing why he wouldn't play for Mikel Arteta. Because Adams has a backbone. He's actually a proper player with proper past, with proper credentials. He will stand up for what he believes in, and he will protect himself and protect the players. He's not gonna take this crap. Oh, let's do a huddle. Oh, let's hug Win the dog. Oh, let's have a plushie toy in the store and everything. He's not gonna have that. Adams would lock Arteta in the bathroom, exactly, and say, screw you, I'm the coach now. By the way, speaking of this fluffy toy Arsenal has, how much is it? Because I know we have the toy, genuinely never have checked the store to see how much is that goddamn toy. Yeah, we ship. Yeah, who cares? How much is the goddamn toy? Kits, accessories, memorabilia, I don't even know where that crap is. Look at this. Look at this. 184 euros for Santi Cazorla frame signed print. 184 for Per Mertesacker. Charlie George. Oh, bloody hell. Arsenal Bergkamp signed frame Newcastle turn photo. 405 euros. Odegaard, 35 euros. Hello. Anyways, where's the dog? I want to see the dog. Retro gifts should be there. Gifts should be there. Wait. Let me zoom out. I want you to see this. Links. Let's put it this way. Links. Look at this. Look at this crap. Arsenal Bruise banana blanket. 48 euros. 48 euros for Arsenal blanket. Arsenal Canon stainless steel watch. 135 euros. Arsenal sterling silver Canon earrings. 48 euros. Holy. Silver Canon pendant. 65 euros. I guess if it's real silver, then I can get it, kinda. It's gold plated, 60 euros. Couldn't afford. Oh, here we go. Win the dog. Win the dog. Flushy, slushy, clushy toy. Here we go. There we are. Win the dog toy. Win the dog toy. Let's go. Ew. 5-star reviews based on 31 views. How much was it? 30 euros for that dog. 30 euros for this toy. A toy you can buy in every single shop for a $5. Genuinely. Anyways. Let's see what people are saying. Bought as a joke gift for my Liverpool Forest supporter niece, but she puts it in her special teddy section. Loves it and still has her siblings wanted to swap. Dora's favorite Christmas present. Very well received by my junior gunner granddaughters. Though one win has been renamed Kai Havertz. Oh, Jesus Christ. One of the dogs has been named Kai Havertz. Holy crap. Any child would like this super soft toy. Brilliant gift for a child. What else is saying? The only downside is she's given it a new name. We love the product though, not too big and not too tiny. The kids would love it. Love win. It took 3 attempts because they were selling so fast, but got one. A perfect Christmas present. Ay, get me off the screen. Holy crap, holy crap. Anyways, let's not get too caught up in this. Time for this. Time for Mikel Arteta's press conference in Sober Center before the North London derby against Spurs. Against bloody Spurs. Nobody's buying this. To be honest, everyone is. Let's be real. Arsenal is not just a club anymore. Arsenal is a business. Genuinely. Suits, ties, and all that stuff. And all the fans, most of the fans that are going to Arsenal games these days are not Arsenal fans. They are just tourists at the end of the day. Many are. I'm not judging them, but many are just tourists. The atmosphere at Emirates is dead. Genuinely dead. I have watched how many games? I watch every game. But there have been about 4 or 5 games where I purposely turned down the commentary so I can just hear the stadium. Because it picks up the stadium, doesn't pick up the commentary volume, right? And it genuinely is dead quiet. You can hear, more of the away fans than you can hear the home fans. That's how bad it is. Why are the Mbuemo links dead? Because he's not coming. He is genuinely not coming. Anyways. Is this their latest one, right? I'm not tripping. Yeah. No, it's September 13th. Oh, for fuck's sake. This is the one. No. Where? Arteta pre-Spurs presser 10 hours ago. Here we go. This is the one. That's what I'm looking for. Here we go. Freak me. On the latest on Gabriel Jesus' injury, we all know that. Whether it's an ACL, we all know that already. On whether it could be a season ending, we already know that. He's out, he's gonna have a surgery, he's out, and all that jazz. Anyways, whether any other players could be available. We have one more training session and there are a few that could be closed. But again, this afternoon we'll have the full info on the squad, who's available and who is not. Okay. Could Calafiori be fit? His thing is not much. Dude, if this was girls saying that, I genuinely would have thought in a completely different way. His thing is not much. This is like 2 girls gossiping about the guy they have just slept with. His thing, not so much. Or just sounds hella weird. But again, we need another day or 2. We've been playing every 3 days and 24 hours becomes really important because there are not long-term injuries in that case, for example. Well, we'll have more understanding this afternoon. If you had a proper squad depth, this wouldn't be an issue. Let's be real. And if Jorginho is okay, he was cramping when we were playing extra time. Timber was exactly the same, so we had a few players struggling to finish the game. Obviously, Timber has been run into the ground after just coming back from ACL injury because you persisted to play half a year with White who needed surgery at the end of the day. What the hell is this about? And Jorginho, who plays 1 game every 2 months, you ask him out of nowhere to play like 120 minutes and you are surprised he's cramping up. What the hell is this about? Make it make sense. And if Jesus' injury changed our transfer plans, well, it should, and it shouldn't change transfer plans as well, even if he was fit. We should have signed a striker anyways. My answer doesn't change, it remains the same. We are actively looking in the market to improve the squad. So Kvaratskhelia was never on your plans, right? Mbuemo or no one like that. And and that's been the same since day one. It would be naive not to do that because it is always an opportunity to evolve. So Kvaratskhelia wasn't good enough. The team and to improve the squad, especially with the circumstances. So yes, we are looking and we are trying, and let's see what we are able to do. Okay, good for you. The country I'm coming from is Tanzania. Big up. Now people are calling us. Arsenal are calling caretakers because our team don't get trophies. Arsenal fans here, they call us because we are caretakers. We are a shelter. We are shelter. We are basically, we find what we can in other teams' trash bins. Because Jesus, Zinchenko, trash bin from Man City. Jorginho, Havertz, trash bin from Chelsea. Now we're gonna go to Juventus' trash bin and we're gonna look at Vlahovic. Nothing has changed. We are a shelter for the homeless people, pretty much. The guys who are out of favor, out of sorts in their own club, not good enough, and they are mostly looking to unload them. That's what we are. We are a support group for all that are not that fortunate. Let's just put it that way. On transfers not being in our hands. When you have to recruit a player, there are 3 parties and you have to agree to that. We have our limitations. What kind of limitations? So we can do what we can do. We plan our squad and we have our limits to do and we want to do, and that's it. So the fact that I love our players a lot doesn't mean that we are doing nothing about improving. He always has to somehow shoehorn the fact that he loves our players. It's incredible, how didn't we win, and all that stuff. Evolving internal solutions and all that stuff. It's incredible that he has to do it every single time he goes into an interview. I'm not that stubborn. You're not that stubborn. I prefer not to comment. We all want the same, so we use every opportunity to improve the squad daily. And when the market comes in and we can do that too, we'll make sure that we have the best resources and the best capacities to compete in the manner we want. In the manner we want. On the derby, finally some questions about the Spurs game. Hallelujah. It's probably the nicest game of the season to watch because of the atmosphere. Dude. Because of what it means to our people, what it means to us and everybody involved in the game. This is something that's in our hands. For example, let's create the best atmosphere that we have played at the Emirates. Give us a reason to create that, by the way. That's something that we control. The players, the staff, and everybody that turns up tomorrow. This is something we can do it, so let's do it. Bloody hell. On the social media, directed abuse to our players. It's incredible, and we really have to do something about it, because accepting that hiding this is, I think, is a terrible consequences. Amen to that. That some of the stuff that some of these so-called Arsenal fans were sending to Havertz's wife and their unborn child, they should be jailed, to say the least. Genuinely should be jailed. It's something that we really have to eradicate from the game, because it's so simple and so dependent on the result of an action, and there's no other industry like this. We're all responsible, and all means God, media, blah blah blah. On whether this is our toughest period with injuries as our boss. Well, no. Well, yes. Technically, yes. This is a more challenging period that we've had, especially as we lost very important players in crucial moments. But I don't know, things happen for a reason in this life. We have to adapt. And with everything that has happened, look how the team performs. Okay, we didn't win the other day, but if you have to go out of a competition, let's go out like this when you have been infinitely better than the opposition, and on Wednesday we have another one. Hold on! Hold the fuck on! Sorry for swearing, excuse my French and all that jazz. If you have to go out of competition, let's go out like this is when you've been infinitely better than the opposition. So what you are telling me, you really consider that the way we lost to Newcastle, we were much better than them. That when we played against United, we were 10 times better than United and everything. Like, what? Seriously, what? The way we lost to Inter Milan, we were 10 times better than them, as you are stating. The way we lost to Bournemouth, we were 10 times better than them. The way we played against Fulham and Everton and all these teams, we were much better than them. And we should have won against them. What is this guy on? What is he waffling about? Genuinely, seriously. What the hell am I reading? So let's face it, the circumstances are that we are. Let's embrace them and blah 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 blah. On if his respect for Ange Postecoglou has grown within his injury crisis. That's our job. It's very difficult to predict that those things are going to happen, but how we react, it's something that's our hands. You can be sorry for yourself and to start to find excuses or face it. Well, you find excuse every single chance you can get. The ball is too small, the ball is too thin, the ball is too wavy and it floats too much, it's too soft and everything. The fans left the stadium, that's why you didn't score and everything. You find excuses whenever you can. So Ange has done that, and last year had some difficulties as well, fell dealt, and it's the same way, blah blah blah. On rebuilding our home from after 2 straight defeats, for sure, understand it was a long period and it was something that gave us so much confidence. The fact that we lost 2 games in the manner that we did is painful. Well, I assume he means that we deserve to win. I look at it from the other way. We didn't deserve to win. We didn't deserve to win based on how we performed in those games. On if we have need for a striker. Wait, on if the supporters knowing how difficult it is to win the league, the narrative from the beginning is that the top 4, 5, 6 teams, because of what we have done historically, we now have the ambition to win it, but this has not changed regardless of what happens against injuries and remains the same. Good for you. On if we need a striker, we have to believe that if we bring someone in, it has to make us better. There is no believing. You bring in a striker and it's gonna make us better, because that means Kai Havertz is not gonna be a striker for fuck's sake. Maybe he's actually gonna hold the bench for a change and for some consistent period of time. On if it's in that position particular, in any position, because we have had other issues as well, we'll need to understand that a player can bring a lot of the teams in different ways, blah blah blah. We're going to hope. So we're gonna hope, we have to believe, and he loves his players. That's what he's saying. And if winning tomorrow can lead to a good feeling again, it's not rosy in the garden, because if I won 2 days ago in a way that I didn't merit because we won 2 games in a row, the next day the garden is rosy again. The garden is not gonna be rosy if you win. The thing is, you have to win no matter what tomorrow. No excuses, no BS, no nothing. You win or it's gonna be hell on earth. Putting it lightly. These things are about what's in the garden the next day. Like, what is he, a gardener all of a sudden? Is he like growing cucumbers, tomatoes, potatoes, peas and onions and carrots, and what else is he growing in his garden? Well, we have zucchini from Italy, to be honest, left back, so I guess that makes the sense. Working somebody that we believe can do that, we are blah blah blah. On winning tomorrow can lead to a good feeling, it's our job, and blah 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 blah. He waffles way too much. To have our condolences on LA, yeah, big up to everyone, stay strong, all the support and everything. On supporting Havertz, it's not about the individual. I think there's a big lesson here to learn from us, how we have conducted, reacted and supported the players when they have been through a very difficult time. You guys have noticed sometimes when he's just professional, there's a lot of personal issues as well. Okay, we move on. I read the rest, there's nothing to read. On making the most of a break in February. Oh, fucking hell. We are looking at that now. Okay, FA Cup is gone. Well, no shit, Sherlock. So how can we optimize the situation the best possible way? We are looking at options. The calendar and the fixtures are a bit dependent on what happens in the Champions League as well. So we are looking and trying to plan the options. Yeah, it depends. We're going to finish in top 8. Or we're gonna finish in the 8 to 6 or 8 to 24, and then we have to extra 2 games have to play. On the importance of a break during a packed calendar, we knew that, and when we are involved in all the competitions, we are prepared for that, and we are going to face it, and that's it. What? We knew that, and when we are involved in all competitions, we are prepared for that, and this makes no sense to me. I'm not gonna lie. On how he brings perspective to players during difficult times. In terms of the cause, it's very easy. When you look at the last 10 years, any player in Europe apart from Ronaldo and Messi has had expected goals and finishing qualities. There is not a single player there that has been on the expected goals level. It's very volatile. What did the new word he has learned, please? Haven't heard him say this word in an interview, I think, ever. Expected goals and goals is a very volatile thing. You want to have the ambition to be there and score a lot of goals, so make sure that you are prepared to be... Now he's gonna say it in every other sentence. What the hell is this guy doing? Even though you could be go and be a defender, that's part of your job. Again, Wallet. I give up. I give up. Expected goals really high. There's a lot of smoke and a lot of things that you cannot control. So only the thing that's better than increasing probabilities, more expected goals, more situations, the more than it's high. The finishing qualities, every single player apart from those two, Ronaldo and Messi, is up and down. So ultimately in this he said nobody's Ronaldo and Messi, and if you finish, you finish. If you don't, you don't. Sick. On if his role has had changed since Edu's resignation. No, it's completely fielded by Jason Aitob. Jason Aitob, Edu's notepad if you didn't know. And obviously all the team is behind it, and we are in constant communication on the role. We are continuing to drive the same way, the same process, and we had before, and Jason is in charge of that. There are rumors that Aitob might actually become the main sporting director, full-time sporting director at Arsenal. Apparently everyone's impressed by what he has done. He has done nothing so far, yet everyone's impressed by what he's done. He arrived on time. Good job. 10 out of 10. You deserve full job. On changing our approach on when facing a team that sticks to their guns. No, at the end of the day, every team is in certain phases. Some of them can insist more than the others, but in general, every team has very clear intentions. They can change the system, but the outcome that they're trying to achieve is very similar. Just sometimes the way we verbalize our feelings and how we go about our jobs more than anything else. Is it just me, or the answer to a question like this was meant to be about the high line, not about some mental stuff? Oh, bloody. Man City 1-0. Oh, here we go. Man City on the comeback. 6 points behind us. If they win, they are only 3 points behind us. Here we go. Comeback for Man City is slowly starting, I guess. I guess it's slowly starting. On which players talk about the meaning of the North London Derby to the younger players? Well, we all have a few now. We spoke with Ethan, Miles as well, all the players, a lot of the stuff. You can feel it straight away, blah, blah, blah. On whether he'll do something special to boost motivation. I'm not there yet. Holy moly. We could see another dog coming in soon. It's very, especially when you've been knocked out of a competition, to play as quickly as possible. That's positive. Okay. I'm leaving this. I genuinely don't want to be there. Anyways. Anyhow. Starting 11 for tomorrow's game. Here we are. Here we go. Wait, before we do that. What are the scores in Premier League? West Ham 3-1 against Fulham. That game is gone out of hand quite insanely. I'm not gonna lie. Soler, Sojek and Paqueta. Iwobi scored for Fulham. Okay. 1-1 Chelsea versus Bournemouth. That's an interesting one. That's a very interesting one. Kluivert scored a penalty. Oh, 2-1. Bournemouth scored just now as I'm here. Holy crap. Chelsea are... Yeah, Chelsea's experience is showing. I'm not gonna lie. City 1-0 up. Good for them. Genuinely good for bloody them. 1-0. But only 1-0. That's hell of a weird one. Only 1-0. I was expecting about 3-1 or 2-1 or something like that. And Forest 1-0 up against Liverpool. Of course Chris Wood scored. Who else? Who genuinely else would have scored if not Chris Wood? Very, very, very interesting. Anyways, let's build a starting 11 for tomorrow's game against Spurs. Let's see what you guys think. For me, Raya goes in goal without shadow of a doubt. Right back, I guess, has to be Timber, despite everything. I think defensive line picks itself consistently, doesn't it? Genuinely. Defensive line picks itself consistently. And now we get to left back position. See, Nathan is saying Tierney. I would love for Tierney to start, and I want Tierney to start. That for me would be the starting back line, especially given how, whoever they're gonna have on the right wing, Kulusevski, maybe Brooks, not Brooks. Who's that? Wilson, yeah, Wilson. Maybe one of them. So we'll see. Midfield has to be Party. It most likely will the most predictable midfield in the world, won't it? Most likely it will be the most predictable midfield in the world. However, picking out the attack is the biggest thing, because it doesn't matter who you pick, it's gonna look goddamn awful. Like, seriously talking. And if you, who we have in the attack? Martinelli, Trossard, Sterling, and Havertz. You can take those 4 names, put in a hat, shuffle around, and blindly pick 3 names out and just stick it in the team at the end of the day. It doesn't matter. Genuinely, it doesn't matter. Seriously, it doesn't matter. And that's why. And I know you might genuinely kill me for this. YouTube, don't block me. I'm thinking Trossard or Havertz up top. This game actually, exactly, this game is for Martinelli. For me personally, I think I would do this on the wings. I just cannot decide who to put up top. Havertz or Trossard. Because let's face it, he is not dropping Havertz. See, as Nathan is saying, Arteta is not dropping Havertz. Because he will want for him to play, and he will want him to get into defenders, try to elbow them, especially with their injury issues, and he will try to basically shithouse away. So I guess I have to say Havertz. I think that would actually be my starting 11. Yeah, Irvine also agrees. Irvine Harper also agrees. Havertz starts 100. This would be my starting 11. We need some directness in the attack, and Martinelli and Sterling kind of provides us with that. And that is the sole reason why I'm starting them. Sterling still has some pace in him. We saw that against United. So with the high line they're gonna play, this actually wouldn't be the worst option in my opinion. So I don't know. This would be my starting 11. Good enough to win in my opinion. The thing is, you look at this starting 11 and you say good enough to win. Now, in your mind even, think about the bench. Genuinely think about the bench. In the midfield, you have Merino and you have, what's the other guy? Jorginho. In defense, you have Kivior, Calafiori, Skelly. That's it. Gold or Bertonetto, of course. In the attack, you only have Trossard. And I assume then there will be Kabia or Yedeji and maybe Isaac Heaven or Jordan Sweet. Someone will be there from the youngsters. Yeah, I would put Kieran Tierney on the one corner and Rice on the other one. If Tierney starts, Tierney should be taking corners. He has proven that he has a very good cross on him, and I think he should be taking our corners in general. 100% agree. The way to win is score 2-3 in the first half, then see the game out just like last season. Exactly. That should be the case. Now, think about this. How often do we come out of the gates and instantly blitz teams? How often do we score in the first 10 minutes of the game to start and dictate the tempo of the game? How often? How many times we have done this season alone? Not that many, have they? It's gonna be a very rough and tough game in general. That is the big issue here. That is the big issue here. I want to check something. By the way, Villa signed Malen, right? It's pretty much written in the stars that they gonna win. He's gonna score against us. He needs to. Can't play dumb. That is the big thing. We need to. Chelsea are not balling it. The big thing is about Chelsea, where they are, it's actually impressive for me personally. Because Maresca came up from Championship with Leicester and he signed for Chelsea. Yes, they have spent $1 billion, but he came into a squad with 46 players. He's basically balancing two different teams, one for Premier League, other one for Cups. The team is very inexperienced, very young, and very insane, right? So, given the fact they are where they are, is actually kind of insane to say the least. That just proves how good of a manager Maresca is, to be honest. Because personally, I think that Chelsea, if they sign a proper goalkeeper, one defender, experienced one, and a proper striker, you generally could make an argument that they next year will be a top 4 team. There generally could be an argument for that. I know 1.7 billion spent, but given how they have spent it and for what, it's different. Can't be hyping up this after 1.7 billion. I'm not hyping this up. I'm not genuinely. I'm just saying that what he did is actually kind of nuts. Yes, Chelsea are. I'm not saying Chelsea are balling it solely because of the reason that nobody expected Chelsea to be where they are this season. Everyone predicted that Chelsea is going to be about 7th or 6th at best. And given the fact that they are in a top 4, it's a complete different story for me personally. Yeah, City currently are 4th. 3 points behind Arsenal, especially if we lose tomorrow. That is the worst part in this. I want to check something about Spurs. Exactly, most likely. And let's be real, you cannot call them ball jobs if you're telling me that they're gonna finish 7th or 6th, even in before the season everyone predicted that. They are not balling it. They basically are where they should be. They went on a good run in the beginning of the season. Now, due to experience and everything, lack of experience, sorry, they have a massive dip. At the end of the day, that is the big case. At least the way I see it. Now, one thing I want to check for Spurs. Absences. Should be here. Should be here. Right? Information, stadium, everything, news, fixtures. It's still loading. Oh, for fuck's sake, this is taking like about 65 goddamn years. I just want to check one thing and it's hard to check. Suspensions and injuries. Come on, load. Come on. I hate this. Oh, here we go. This is the big thing. Look at the injuries that Spurs are having. They have out their main goalkeeper and the second goalkeeper. They just signed a Czech goalkeeper who played a blinder against Liverpool, I'm not gonna lie. In the Cup, in Carabao Cup. Richarlison is out. Davies is out. Romero is out. Van de Ven is out. Udogie is out. Bentancur is out. Half of their starting 11 is out with injuries. Let's be real, Arsenal as well. Well, not to be honest, Arsenal don't. Only player that's out with injuries for Arsenal from starting 11 is Saka. We have the full starting 11. Think about it that way. We have no excuses not to win tomorrow. We legit have no excuses. They're missing 3 of their main center backs. Their main left back. They're missing all of their best players. They again gonna play like a makeshift defense. They're gonna play another makeshift defense with potentially Archie Gray at center back once again. Look at these. Some of their main guys are injured. They're most likely gonna have center back pairing of Dragushin and Archie Gray. Porto as a right back, Region as a left back. That's most likely is gonna be their team. Again. That is the big thing. They have so many injuries. Their main guys, half of their starting 11 is out. That we have genuinely no excuses not to win this game. We have no excuses not to win this game. Seriously. Saka and Calafiori. Well, you say Calafiori, but Calafiori, He has started the games, but for me, he's not a starter yet, at least definitely. And he, for me, is a center back more than a left back. I don't know. You could say Calafiori, but Calafiori was never gonna work like everyone thought. Look at our current transfer record. Minus 25 million. We have spent nothing. How are we still spending nothing? That is the big question. How are we still spending nothing when we have spent nothing? And see, Bukayo Osaka is out, expected a time in March. Jesus is out till August 31st, approximately. Takehiro Tomiyasu, God knows when he's gonna be back. Is he even still alive? I don't even know. Ben White is out for 2 more months or a month. Calafiori is out for like a few weeks still. And Ranieri apparently is gonna be back at the end of the January, early February. Like, if you're looking at the injuries, injury list and everything, I'm not gonna lie, we have no excuses not to win tomorrow. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Nothing. No excuses not to win tomorrow. Saying that, by the way, this will be very bad from my end. I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw. That's my prediction for tomorrow's game. 1-1 draw. Because this game will go 2 ways. This will go 2 ways. Either it will be a game where we're going to score a quick goal, the game will open up a bit and it's going to finish 3-2, 4-2, something like that. Or it's going to be a stink fest with teams randomly scoring a penalty and a corner goal or something like that. And it's going to be a 1-1. I'm going for the 1-1 draw at the end of the day. Given our recent form, it doesn't fill me with hope. Let's just put it that way. City 2-0. They finish above Arsenal, I think. They're going to finish above us. The way City have spent money this transfer window, especially with signing that Kusanov, Marmoush now, Ederson, that Brazilian guy and everything, they have fixed all the, most of their issues they had in the team. Backup striker, midfielder that's young with energy, another young defender for future as well, and that Brazilian I think is a midfielder as well if I'm not mistaken. If City win, they're only 3 points behind us, which puts us under extra more pressure, given the fact that Liverpool, I think, still are losing to Nottingham Forest. Yeah, Liverpool are still losing to Nottingham Forest. Fulham have clawed their way back. Brentford scored 2-1. Wait, you said 2-0. What the hell? Visa scored 2-1. Holy moly. Holy moly. Chelsea scored as well. 2-1. Oh, no, they scored before. Never mind. I'm dumb. Fulham scored 3-2. Iwobi scored again. Iwobi is on a double today. He could score a hat-trick. God bless. And Spurs of Nottingham Forest, of course, 1-0 up still against Liverpool. But yeah, for tomorrow's game, I'm going with a 1-1 draw. See how that plays out. For me personally, it's going to be 1-1 stinkfest, or the game is going to be somewhat exciting and it's going to finish 3-2 Arsenal. One of the two, I think. The big thing is, there is maybe 1% in me that believes that Spurs actually might win this game. And the fact that it's actually 1% compared to other times when it's literally 0.00001% is a big worry for me personally inside. But I guess that's my problems alone. But yeah, I think on that note, we have covered everything we need to cover. Tomorrow Arsenal play Spurs. I'm not going to stream tomorrow. No video tomorrow. I'm going to stream on Thursday. Usually when Arsenal play this late, I never stream. We will have to wait and see what happens. Big up Nathan, big up Irvin, big up everyone who dropped by, who commented, who subscribed, who did everything. Take care, stay safe, have a great day tomorrow. Let's hope Arsenal can do something. But for now, I am out. See you all on Thursday or on Twitter, X, if you follow me there.